The foundations of epigenetic DNA activation. Life is energy. Einstein, Tesla, and the science of quantum physics have shown us that the fabric of the universe is composed of vibrational strings expressed as energy. Every single cell and organ system, as well as our entire physical body, is encompassed and surrounded by its own individual energy field. The basis of every state of mind and matter, including conditions of disease or health, is their primary state of vibration. Therefore, the very life we live is a reflection of our own vibrational essence. We are the creative force in the unfolding story of our journey. Our world as we embark upon it now, is filled with higher consciousness and vibrational frequencies that will only be supporting our highest potential. In 1953, scientific research reported by James Watson and Francis Crick captured the attention and imagination of our modern civilization. Their studies on the nature of DNA, the blueprints for the structure of our cells, created the belief that genes control biology, the foundation upon which modern medicine is built. This belief evolved into the concept known as genetic determinism, the notion that our physical and behavioral fates are encoded in the genes and that we are helpless victims of genetics. The basis of every state of mind and matter, including conditions of disease or health, is their primary state of vibration. One of the biggest intellectual roadblocks to overcome in healing ourselves and initiating the process of DNA activation, or even understanding the universe fully, is based on this assumption: our genes determine our reality or the likelihood our lives and health will follow a predetermined path. Epigenetics and beyond. The latest breakthrough research in cell biology and quantum physics, according to cellular biologist Bruce Lipton, Ph.D., shows that our genes and DNA are activated and influenced by signals from outside the cell membrane. This pioneering research in the field of vibrational medicine is known as the science of epigenetics. Epigenetics studies show how forces operating outside the DNA sequence, including extracellular, environmental, and energetic influences, affect the development, functioning, and evolution of biological systems. The science of epigenetics lies in tracing the signal outside the cell back to its origins. It looks for the energy flow that causes the DNA blueprint to activate a particular pattern, the driving force behind the way our DNA activates and expresses itself. AP implies traits that are above, in addition to, or on top of the cell membrane. Genetics pertains to the DNA in the nucleus, the library of blueprints, which is found inside of each living organism or individual cell. Therefore, epigenetics means control or influence of DNA from above or outside the gene. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the words we speak, and the ecological systems in which we live, influence the switches that turn on and off the expression of our genes and DNA. Additionally, the signals generated from our perceptions of the world we live in, our thoughts, beliefs, prayers, meditations, and intentions influence our inner environment, cause chemical changes in our body and brain, and affect the way our genes communicate instructions to our cells, and literally have the effect of altering and activating our DNA. Epigenetics is also showing us that through conscious intention, we can change our quality of life from what we have been handed down epigenetically from previous generations. The science confirms that it is our individual choices, based on our degree of consciousness, that play a role and change our cellular structure and level of DNA activation. The research behind the science encourages us to abandon obsolete beliefs that we are victims of predetermined genetic codes. Epigenetics clarifies how perceptions of our inner and outer environments shape our biology and behavior and make us masters of our own lives, rewriting the rules of disease, heredity, and well-being. While genes play an important part in organizing us into our individualized form and uniqueness, it is still a mystery, to science, how the organization itself happens. After all, apes and humans, fruit flies and worms, are all very different, but amazingly similar, genetically. This and other discoveries made in the last 100 years have opened scientists to the possibilities that the primary components of life are orchestrated by something more. Consciousness is a vibration. Rupert Sheldrake, one of the world's most innovative biologists, revolutionized scientific thinking with his vision of a living, developing universe with its own inherent memory or morphogenetic energy field. Our genes reside in this morphic field, and it plays an important role in the epigenetic control and activation of our DNA. It is a field of energy containing certain frequencies of information or resonance. All living species, human beings, animals, and plants, have a consciousness and therefore a morphic field that consists of atoms and exists at a particular threshold of vibration. Through conscious intention, we can change our quality of life from what we have been handed down epigenetically from previous generations. Illness occurs when these atoms comprising the human body vibrate at unhealthy frequencies. The morphogenetic energy field evolves, organizes, structures, and resonates. It is influenced by epigenetic factors that translate into vibrational frequencies generated by our environment, perception, meditation, intention, and prayer, all of which influence the process of DNA activation. DNA response patterns. When our morphic energy field resonates with lower vibrations associated with fear or conflict, the signals are picked up and passed through the cell membrane. The informational frequencies travel to the nucleus of the cell and enter the chromosome, activating a particular strand of DNA. Our genes then communicate instructional functions to our cells based on the information they receive. The cells then prepare to fight or flight. This DNA activation response represents a genetic wisdom designed to protect us from bodily harm, and puts our physical and emotional health in a state of alert. In this scenario, our consciousness is focused on fear, instead of love. The fight or flight response. Travel inside the body and see how cell signaling creates physiological changes during the fight or flight response. Transcending our fears by shifting our consciousness to one of trust, harmony, and love, opens us up to all possibilities. These higher frequencies support our DNA activation in creating profound healing to our body-mind. There is a vibrational pattern attached to each belief we hold. By releasing limiting beliefs that are ego-based and choosing high-frequency beliefs that are of heart consciousness, we create frequencies that affect our bodies, our DNA, and enhance our ability to create a reality we choose to live within. What really is amazing is we can easily create an illness or enjoy vitality just by becoming aware of our environments, perceptions, beliefs, thoughts, and intentions. Energy follows thought. As human beings, we actually choose our experiences by the way we resonate or vibrate as an energy field. Our perceptions and thoughts translate into vibrational frequencies. Energy follows thought, shaping our reality. It is that simple and profound. The Buddha declared years ago, we are formed and molded by our thoughts. Intention changes DNA expression. The practice of conscious intention, combined with an energy field that is responsive by nature, can expand our gateways of awareness so we can experience our fullest expression as limitless beings. To be powerful, our intent must be deeply, personally, and sincerely engaged, where pure sincerity of heart is felt and expressed in the act of devotion. Our consciously formed beliefs, thoughts, prayers, and intentions have a much stronger effect on our lives than our genes do. Nobel Prize winner Max Planck, a theoretical physicist and originator of quantum theory, believes that all matter originates and exists as a projection of a conscious and subconscious creative force, which brings the particles of an atom into vibration. This theory revolutionized human understanding of atomic and subatomic processes. Heart intelligence. DNA is also a sort of biological quantum field computer that connects us to the energies of what is becoming known as heart intelligence. The heart serves as a key access point through which information originating in the higher dimensional structures is coupled into the physical human system, including DNA. Rollin McCarthy, Ph.D., of the Institute of Heart Math in Boulder Creek, Colorado, has proven that measurable molecular changes occur in the DNA molecule as a result of intention, meditation, and prayer. Intention projected into the energy system from the consciousness of the heart can provide miracles of healing through the epigenetic effects of well-being on the cells of the body, shaping our genetic expression moment by moment and catalyzing DNA activation. Whenever we engage in healing ourselves through meditation, intention, or prayer, we activate a tuning fork that sends healing vibrations throughout the body. Masters of our destiny. Epigenetic therapy, correctly practiced, is potentially the most significant breakthrough in the fields of health and longevity to date. This approach allows us to address a predisposition to certain states of health and being. Raising one's vibration, as a conscious focus, can do much to alleviate conditions that one was predisposed to manifest in physical form. The applied practice of this new awareness is empowering, for we can learn to become masters of our destiny instead of victims of our genes. Physician and best-selling author Deepak Chopra teaches us that we can actually modify our own genes and initiate DNA activation through our actions and behaviors. Miraculous healing occurs as a result of shifts in the consciousness of belief, intention, spiritual practice, and prayer. Individually and collectively, we constantly contribute to the development of our universe with our thoughts and our intention behind them. The effects of conscious intention on global change. In the beginning, life was experienced primarily from our instinctive nature. Humans existed within the scope of the environment. Intention was focused on survival. Much of our mindset, clearly rooted in the past, is still operating in this outdated survival mode. In today's modern world, our technology has progressed significantly. However, when we look around, we see that man is still as primitive in his behaviors as he was at the beginning of our current civilization. Epigenetic therapy, correctly practiced, is potentially the most significant breakthrough in the fields of health and longevity to date. The planet is under what I term reconstruction. We are at the threshold of a new way of living life, where integrity and transparency are the building blocks for a new structure of life. The illusions and beliefs that we perceive through the lenses of the ego mind are falling away as we open our eyes to the new world we are entering. There is a higher energy frequency that holds the information of a greater consciousness that is now permeating all life. Everything as we know it is shifting, the weather patterns, banking systems, governments, even the earth itself. However, the utmost change to be experienced is the shift that is taking place within each individual. The way life experiences and values are perceived, leads one to awareness and a yearning for harmony, balance, and love, coming from the depths of our hearts as a priority. As we journey ever deeper into the transformation process, we become intensely aware of the signals provided by our life circumstances, our state of physical health, and our vibrational levels, relative to all that surrounds us. It will be quite easy to determine where we stand in our own process, at any juncture, simply by becoming aware of the ease or difficulty we experience in manifesting our heart's desire in our day-to-day life. We find that we have become the observers and the object of that awareness, simultaneously. Our process of assessing our state of well-being and shifting our choices accordingly will become an integral part of living. This approach is what practitioners term as conscious. The world is in the midst of reorganizing, and as major participants on the playing field of life, we must now choose from a focused intention rooted in a consciousness how we would like it to be, rather than watch from the sidelines, caught in the mercy of the circumstances of our physical environment. Every action, thought, and choice we make, contributes to the creation of the reality we experience as our life. This major paradigm shift in human evolution has brought us to the doorway of a greater consciousness that transcends our antiquity. The way we navigate the terrains of life will be by conscious intention, encompassing the wisdom of the heart. The focus of this process is to bring us to our highest expression of self. By honoring our own personal truth, we succeed in serving humanity by contributing to the energetic whole with which we are connected. A new chapter is opening now as we begin to view life differently. We are transcending from a world that reflects the strategies of the mind, the mentality of competition, and the world of material entrapment, into a global consciousness that embraces unity. As humankind goes through this process of transformation in raising its consciousness, the driving force will come from higher vibrational energetic signals, which influence the expression of DNA and activates it on an individual level, thus fueling global change in the evolution of humankind. The art of DNA activation and healing. With intuitive guidance, energetic awareness, and conscious intent, healing frequencies can be delivered to the morphogenetic fields that surround us in the shape of belief systems and energy patterns of behavior. In my practice of applied epigenetic therapy, I call this DNA activation. This understanding allows us to make conscious choices influencing and shaping those fields. In addition to the resonance or energy pattern we may already carry, DNA activation draws to us enhanced experiences in our life and reflects the synergy and resonance of these higher frequency energies. Working consciously towards these goals, we begin to build and strengthen our own ability to connect with wonderful fields of higher consciousness, direct the expression and activation of our DNA, and maximize our purpose in physical form. Every cell in our body is functioning together for our benefit, for the whole of our bodies. This knowledge is very empowering because we gain the power to influence every biochemical event that occurs in our bodies. The science of epigenetics confirms that our intentions influence our health and cause DNA activation and regulation. So take the time to talk to your cells from the wisdom of your heart, for they are certainly listening to what you have to say. It is only love that can shine through the clouds of illusion.